Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and tonight we have a segment of 20 random questions. And tonight's guest is two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Chris Byrd. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm doing great. Feeling great.
I appreciate you coming on, man. Oh, it looks real sunny there.
Yeah, a little bit. In California. It's nice.
So how's life treating you?
I'm doing great. I was in chronic pain for 11 and a half years. I'm out of it. I feel great. Amazing.
Now, was that pain because of all the training in the boxing?
No, it was actually food. I had to stay at heavyweight. I wasn't a heavyweight, in my amateur career. I was a middleweight in the Olympics, and I went to heavyweight and trashed my body. So the food really, I'm allergic to a lot of different kind of food, so it really messed me up.
Wow.
But I'm back now.
Okay. All right, so you ready for these random 20 questions?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, well, first question number one. How did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Well, my father was a boxer, and he was a trainer also when I was young, and he had a gym, and it was natural. I'm the youngest of 8 kids, 5 boys, 3 girls. It was naturally for me to be in boxing. I was breastfed on it.
So now, are you the only sibling though that became a boxer?
Well, all boys box, and my sister Tracy, she boxed. She 3-time world champion. So we all, had our hand in it. My whole family knew how to box. My mom did, and all the 3 girls.
I didn't even think about I forgot all about your sister until you just said that, and then I put it together.
Yeah.
I forgot all about your sister was boxing.
Sure was.
All right,
Mother in the corner.
No, that's what you call family that boxes.
Oh, yeah, big time.
When you even got the mother in the corner.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, question 2. What boxers inspired you in your career?
Wow. I grew up, like I said, in boxing. So many fighters. I mean, I'm from Michigan, so of course, Tommy Hearns, Milt McCory, Steve McCory, who was Olympic gold medalist in 1984. My brothers, big time inspired me. My teammates of mine that was older, Tim Littles, who was #1 contender, his brother, Jonathan, really inspired me. And, Mike Tyson was a big one. Seen him at the Junior Olympics. And I've never seen nothing like that. And a whole crowd come watch us. One guy, he was always my favorite, or one of my favorites. He was way at the top as a favorite fighter.
Okay. Question 3. Did you have any boxing superstitions when you fought?
Yeah, I did. I used to eat a Snickers. If I didn't eat a Snickers before I fought, I would think in my mind I would lose. So that was a big one, which is a no-no. Having sweets like that before a fight, but I had to have it.
So here's my question. Does Snickers know that? You could have got them as a sponsor.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't thinking at that time. I should still go to them on my comeback.
They probably would. Yeah, they probably would have gave you a lifetime supply of Snicker bars.
Yeah, but I stopped eating that stuff, so man, that wouldn't have worked.
All right,
give me the money.
Question 4. Who's the one fighter that you never got to fight that you wanted to fight?
Lennox Lewis. Big time. I was #1 contender to him. I was ready at that time. I had just fought David Tua. I wanted to see how, everybody said, he can't fight the big guys, the tall guys like that. And he was one of the guys I targeted as the top 3 to fight. And that was Tyson, my guy, Lennox Lewis, and Evander Holyfield. So I really wanted to fight Lennox.
Okay. What did you guys ever even have negotiations or anything? Was it ever even close?
No, I'm done with that. Like the questions on that, I'm like, forget it because
Okay.
I
Okay.
know what was up, and I'm not gonna say anything about it. It just didn't happen.
Okay. All right. Question 5. If you could go on any reality TV show, which one would you go on?
Oh wow, that's a good one. Oh man, I have I can't even think of names of reality shows, so I could pick one.
Well, I mean, you could go on like the competition reality shows, or you could go on like the reality shows that follow people's lives. You know, you could go on one of those.
I
You
think
know,
I think the one that follows people's lives. I think it's interesting to me to see how people doing after the sport or even during the sport and how they live. I love that type of stuff, but I would love to do that.
okay. All right, question 6. If they made a movie about your life, what actor would play you?
That's a good one. I think I would play me.
Oh, you'd
I
want to be.
just I just do my own role, I do the acting. I know me.
Okay. All right, question 7. What's the craziest or the funniest story that ever happened between you and a boxing fan?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Ah, wow. The fans they've been so cool. I mean, and that's a good one. The
There's
boxing fan.
there's no story that sticks out in your mind, a guy that was a huge fan or somebody that gave you
Yeah,
something or
it was a yeah. I'm just thinking back, remembering when it was a elderly man and his son at the fight, and his son was like in his I think 30s, late 30s, or 40s maybe, mid 40s, and his father was like in his 70s or something. And I was younger, so I thought that was real old, but it's not that old. And he was just, he was admired by me in my boxing skills. And then, so I seen his son waving down to me like, hey, just wave it. Not expecting me to go up in the stands. So I go up in the stands and start talking to him. Man, it made his life for him because I was his favorite fighter. And it really touched me and just told me how the fans really support you. Like they'll really support. The fans are the one that make the boxer. So it really made me focus in on now treat the fans like I would want to be treated.
so because you made that little extra effort going up in the stands, that's a priceless memory for that guy.
Yeah, but it's priceless for me also. I still remember the moment,
Okay.
and I'm thinking, man, we have to do that.
All right, question 8. Who's the one boxer, alive or dead, that you would want to sit down and have a conversation with that you never got to talk to?
Alive or oh man, that's Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
That's one boxer I would just pick his brain. It would be amazing to sit down and just talk to him about everything. He actually pointed at me one time, just pointing, just kept walking. I'm like, he pointing at me. I was with my wife. I'm thinking, wow, me.
Well, that means he knew who you were. That means he paid attention to you.
Yeah, he did. He paid attention from the Olympics through my career, but never got the chance to really talk to him because there was so many people be around him and stuff. I didn't want to just barge in and start just talking. So, my father had a chance, but not myself.
Okay. Question 9. What boxer in the heavyweight division right now do you think if you were in this era you would match up against the best?
We're the best. Tyson Fury and Usyk. I like the styles. I mean, I want to challenge myself against the tall guy, and you got, Usyk. He's a smaller guy coming into the big guy era, but he's making it work. I'll fight both of them.
And I personally think it would be a great fight between you and Usyk. I mean, you guys are both technicians, and the way you guys move and flow, and you're
Yes,
smaller heavyweights. That was when I made up the question. That's who I was thinking was Usyk.
yes, yeah. Usyk is big one. I don't the size. that's the challenge though. Like Tyson Fury is the challenge. Like, let me see if I got skill and think and beat this big guy.
Who was that one guy back in the day, that 6'9" or whatever, that big Russian guy that was fighting for
Oh,
a
you
while?
7 foot,
7
7'1".
foot.
What was that? Value of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big guy, 325 pounds.
Yeah, that guy was big. All right, question 10. Can you tell me an interesting story from your boxing career?
Interesting story.
I mean, you got to have tons of them.
I mean, it's a lot of interesting stories. It's, well, interesting story. Well, wow. I'm just trying to think. Well, I got KO'd in sparring at the end of my career. I can tell. I don't care. This is part of. I was sparring with Herbie Hyde, and we're sparring, and I'm having fun. For me, I'm trying to make a miss and everything. So the first round, it goes by. The second round goes by. So the third round, I get clipped. And when I woke up, I didn't know I was even out. My brother asked me, why were you arguing with Pops like that? My father. I'm like, arguing? What are you talking about? And then Herbie Hyde came over to me and said, yeah, man, why was you arguing? Why didn't you just quit, man? I didn't know I went 2 rounds out.
Wait, you're breaking up on me.
I went 2 rounds. What's that?
You were breaking up on the last part of that story on me.
Oh, well, if I left off at this, it was Herbie Hyde came to me and said he was arguing. Why were you arguing with your father? And I didn't even know I was knocked out. I mean, I didn't know I argued with him. I didn't know anything. So it was embarrassing to me, but it happens. It's part of boxing.
Okay. There you go. I was just going to say you froze on me for a second, but you're all right now. Let's see. Question 11. Who was the hardest puncher you ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
Wow. Man, in fights, of course, like Vladimir Klitschko, Ika Miyabuchi. I mean, the heavyweights hit hard, all of them to me. But those ones, those big ones, big name guys, they can really punch. And in sparring, DeVero Williamson, one of the hardest punchers ever in heavyweight history. He doesn't get any credit for it.
Touch of sleep?
My goodness. It's a touch of sleep for a reason. That man. I fought him. I fought in a world title fight. And I was going through it with Don King. And I had to fight him. I moved. The people booed, but I got the win. I mean, he's a good friend. Good friend, can punch. Oh my goodness, he hit hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. Question 12. How do you inspire other people?
Right now, just by, I guess for me now, coming back from chronic pain. I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter, and I had a lot of tough matches, but the chronic pain for over 11 years, that boxing wasn't nothing. So telling people, hey, you can overcome anything. I did it without any doctors. Changed my diet, changed this, changed that. Boom, I started getting better, got my life back. I wanted to cut my foot off, wanted to cut it off at the leg. Please, the pain was crazy. But for people, keep pushing. You could do anything in your one life. We ain't live one time. Get it in. I lost 11 and a half years, about that much time to pain. So I'm trying to regain it. I feel great. I feel young. I'm inspired to fight again. So I'm ready to do whatever. It's time to get it.
Hey, Chris, you got a chair? You got a chair?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because some reason when you keep moving, it keeps freezing. So are you sitting down or no?
I'm sitting down. You want me to stand?
No, no, I want you to sit if you can. I'm
Stay
trying to
still.
get it. Yeah, because I can hear your voice fine, but the picture sometimes keeps freezing. I'm just trying to get it so the picture doesn't freeze.
Okay, I'll stop moving. I'm moving back and forth. I get excited.
Okay. Yeah, the picture's frozen right now, but I can hear you fine. All right, question 13. What's the best dish you can cook?
I can't.
He said
No,
I can't.
I can't cook a lick, but I don't eat cooked food. I eat all raw food.
All of it. Everything you eat is raw?
Everything.
Wow.
That's my life now. I'm not going back. I trashed my body for many years, and I paid for it.
Okay. Question 14. If you could use a time machine one time, what period would you go back to?
I wouldn't, because I'd probably be a slave or something. I'm just being real.
Okay. That's an honest answer, though. All right, question 15. Do you believe in ghosts or aliens?
Yes. At first I didn't, but hey, I do.
Do you believe in
It,
both or just ghosts?
both. I mean, ghost spirits. Hey, stuff happens. And aliens. Look how big the universe is, or not the universe, the galaxy. They say there's over 20 billion Earths in the galaxy. It's got to be something somewhere, right?
Yeah, besides us.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we don't know. We can barely get to the moon if we are getting to the moon. So who knows?
Okay. All right, question 16. What's the number one problem in the sport of boxing right now, in your opinion?
None to me. I mean, stuff happens. It, well, one thing I do see is, the sparring and people cheering around the ring and going crazy. It's sparring. I don't get it. This is a time to work on your craft, and you work on it to be something special, not to fight. And now, I'm just seeing videos, and I see, you go on like social media, you see certain videos, especially of boxing, and then you see somebody get knocked out. They post a knockdown or knockout. Who really is sparring? Okay, you help your sparring partner up, and y'all go back and fight hard. You can fight. You can box, spar hard, but really give in and work on your craft. To me, it's just wartime, and a lot of boxers and coaches don't understand the life after damage. Now, I've seen damage even in my family. So dementia and damage from boxing in the sport, and it came from sparring, not the fights. Fights here, you get some damage, but it's mainly sparring because you got a hit and run. You the best guy in the ring, and everybody knows. Well, in the gym, you're a killer. But what are you getting out of it? If you're not working on your craft all the time, every day, just working on something different, and make you a better fighter than just going to war. What does that mean? It means nothing.
No, I agree with you. I've seen some of them videos too. It's changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll change a lot. My father would go bananas. He'd go crazy. He don't play that. You come to learn and get better every day. I'm getting better and better. I don't care about being king of the gym.
Question 17. Do you watch female boxing?
Yes. Yeah, I watch. Yeah, my sister was world champion, of course. And I love it. Like Clarissa Shields from my hometown, from Flint, Michigan. She is the GOAT in the women's boxing. She can go. She got better and better. Every time you see her, she's a great fighter.
Question 18. If you could have dinner with any 4 people in the world, dead or alive, celebrities, people out of history, who would you want to sit down and have dinner with? 4 people.
Wow, 4 people. I can name. Dead or alive?
Yep. Anybody in history, celebrities, dead or
Wow.
alive.
Wow. Well, one would be Dr. Yosef Ben Yakadin. He was a great historian of Black history. Whew, wow. Jack Johnson. I would love to pick his brain. I would love to pick his brain. Wow. Great heavyweight. Just, oh my goodness. You put somebody in the spot. Because I got to, oh my goodness. I'm going with the dead, but the ones alive, honestly, I've already talked to Mike Tyson before, so it would be Barry Sanders and Michael Jordan.
Okay, that's an interesting table.
Yeah.
All right, question 19. What is your opinion of the YouTubers and the internet influencers getting involved in boxing?
I mean, it's good for boxing. I'm not gonna hate on them. Hey, they trying it. Is boxing is bringing the sport back alive. Even with these guys, hey, it makes it interesting. But if they want to come into our world, the real world, they better understand what they're getting into. Because don't talk the trash and then you say you want to come and fight. You don't really want to come fight. You want this kind of smoke, but it's good for boxing. So more power to them.
Okay. Last question, question 20. Now, after everything you've done in your life, seen places you've been and everything, tell me something that's still on your bucket list.
Ooh. Man, I got so wow. Well, one on my bucket list, I want to go to Egypt with a guy named Anthony Browder, a guy I follow, and I like African history, so that's a bucket list. For me to be in the world title fight again on a comeback. I promised my mother.
Are you training? Are you training?
Oh man, I weigh 165 pounds right now. I'm in great shape, the best shape. Since 2020, when I said I was coming back, slowly but surely, my body was getting better and better from all the damage I had going through chronic pain. Now I'm finally here. So people would say, "Man, you too old. You're this." I'm like, "But you're not me. Don't put your fears on me. Like, I'm real good. What about your health? Well, what about the guy I'm fighting? What about his health? I'm good. Like I could pass any physical. I could pass anything. I feel like a 23-year-old kid that just came back from the Olympics. Actually, I was 21 when I came back, turned 22. So I feel like that kid. And I'm healthy. I'm great. When I was fighting at heavyweight, I wasn't healthy. People didn't know that I would get rushed to the hospital after the fight. I'm dizzy. I'm breaking out in hives. I got extreme fatigue. I got all these problems. But now it's funny. I'm older. I would say, considered grandpa of boxing, but I feel better than I ever felt in my life. Not only just, during boxing as a professional, but during amateur, I had problems breaking out in hives and extreme fatigue then. I just pushed through it. So now how I feel, how I treat my body like it's the king, I feel nobody can beat me. I got the best skills out of anybody in boxing. Bring it. And my thing is, it's gonna come. I know it's gonna come. Get a chance to box, and people say, "Man, you're an old guy. Like I'm 53 years old. I can challenge any young guy on the planet. Put him in front of me." I feel so great right now. Just and humbled too, because coming back, I came back too early. I was sparring with a lot of people. It wasn't too hot. I just didn't look good. My defense is good. I'm not getting busted up or anything, but just I couldn't. The fears of throwing punches because I needed both my shoulders replaced. the fears in my legs. I had a hip replacement. I mean, I had needed both my hips replaced. I was all messed up. My joints were all out of place. But when it started coming back and you get that feeling back, it's crazy. Age does, you throw age out the window. The way I feel, I'm like, okay, let me prove it. You know, and everybody say, oh, you're going to get hurt, man. You're going to do this. I'm like, well, let me prove it first.
So
Let me show you, just like I did at heavyweight. Just like I did at heavyweight. At first they said I was too small. Now they say I'm too old. And I love the challenge.
So how long do you think it'll be before we see you in the ring?
It does. I don't know. I really don't. You know, this year is a great possibility. You know, but you will see me again. I can't be stopped as far as, well, he's too old. He's broke up. He's sick. No, I'm not. I'm perfectly healthy. You cut me inside, you cut me open, you're like, damn, he's a healthy guy. You got to close me back up. I'm too healthy. That's my new nickname in boxing, Healthy Byrd.
Okay, do you want to say anything to your fans before we end, Chris?
Yeah. You know, the fans, the Chris Byrd fans, the true ones, I know them. You know, they're loyal to me. I'll be back. I'm going to be back. I want to be the oldest champion and be at the highest level. You know, I wish all the guys the best in their boxing in any weight class. And the weight classes out, you know, I want to go from 160 to cruiserweight. I'll fight. I mean, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to box. I'm excited. And I think, well, now I don't think, I know I will be champion again.
Maybe they can put up a fight together between you and Canelo.
Canelo, he earned his stripes, man. I give him props. He's doing his thing. He's fighting one of the Charlo brothers, which is it's going to be a great fight. He's challenging himself again. He's Charlo brother, that man can fight. You know, he's tough and, you know, it's going to be great fighting. But Canelo is, you know, it'd be a great matchup. I just want to see matchup. How can I match up with these guys in this era? It's the biggest challenge. It's more big of a challenge than fighting at heavyweight. And fighting at heavyweight, when you're not a heavyweight, and fighting these big guys, I'm eating to try to keep my weight up. Then it started becoming a challenge. Like, can I really do it? Can I outthink, outsmart, outspeed this big guy? But my body at the time, it just didn't react right. I mean, a lot of fights, and I have no excuses. That's not an excuse. It's just, it's reality. People that know me know what happened to me after fights. I'll fall out. I'm swelling up, breaking out in hives and stuff. But now I'm pure. Have no problems. No condition with my wind or anything. I have no anything. I'm perfectly healthy. So, you know, for me, boxing is fun. Everybody else look at it and look at my age. Man, it's dangerous. It's so dangerous. Something's going to happen. And that's the last thing I think about. I know my skills. I know how I got through heavyweight. I know how I can maneuver through the smaller weights. It's the same thing. Defense first. And most coaches, I'm sorry to say, if they never fought before, how are they going to teach it? How do you really teach it? How do you really teach that other half of boxing, which is defense? Everybody know how to throw punch. Everybody know how to throw punches. That's all you're gonna see. Mitt work. Yeah. But how do you avoid the punch? That's the biggest thing. And once you get somebody making a miss, now they start thinking, damn, I should have worked on my skills a little better. Dang. That's how I look at boxing. My thing is, I challenge anybody anytime. I don't care. I don't care what age. I look to fight till I'm 60. And I bet you I'll still be just as healthy as I am right now. And still amazing in the movement, the speed, the accuracy. Now I have power. Heavyweight, no power. But, I mean, I wouldn't say no power, but, you know, the guys, they didn't respect the power side of me. Now you gotta be in a little bit of fear of Chris Byrd. He could punch a little bit now. I mean, maybe more than a little bit, but he got hand speed, movement. My eyes are still great. My balance, everything. I feel like a brand new guy, and I love it. I love the way I feel. I love my diet. I love my life. Because I was in so much pain. Now my joints falling apart. I mean, I needed replacements everywhere. I'm like, man, what's wrong? I wanted to cut my foot off the leg and all this stuff, but I made it. Let's get it. Never give up. Never give up.
You're starting to break up on me, Chris.
Oh, I went out. Dang.
A little bit there. All right, well, listen, I'm going to end the show, all right? So
yes.
Hold on. All right, and with that, the truth has spoken.